Have you ever walked through a field, looked at your crops, and wondered why they aren't growing as vigorously as they should? You might be blaming the seeds, the weather, or even the effort you've put in. But the real culprit often lies beneath your feet. The soil. Soil fertility is the foundation of every productive farm, yet it's also one of the most overlooked aspects of sustainable agriculture. Today, we're going to explore how to naturally boost your soil fertility, increase crop yields, and create a thriving farm ecosystem, all without relying on synthetic chemicals. By the end of this guide, you'll have practical methods you can start using immediately to transform your soil into a powerhouse of productivity. Understanding why soil fertility matters more than anything else on your farm. Soil is not just dirt. It's a living ecosystem full of microorganisms, minerals, organic matter and nutrients that your plants need to grow strong. When soil is healthy, crops absorb nutrients efficiently, resist pests, and produce higher yields. Conversely, depleted soil leads to weak plants, low harvests, and increased vulnerability to diseases. Understanding this relationship is key. You can plant the best seeds in the world, but if the soil isn't fertile, the plants will struggle. Natural soil fertility focuses on restoring this balance, enriching the soil organically and keeping it alive so it can feed your crops year after year. How organic matter transforms your soil into a nutrient powerhouse. One of the simplest yet most effective ways to boost fertility is adding organic matter. Compost, animal manure, crop residues and green manure crops all replenish nutrients, improve soil structure, and enhance water retention. Composting, for instance, turns kitchen scraps, plant waste and farm residues into rich humus that feeds both soil and crops. The process can be as simple as creating a heap in your backyard, layering vegetable peels, leaves and grass clippings, and letting it decompose over a few months. Once ready, spread it over your fields or garden beds. Not only does this add essential nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, it also encourages beneficial microbes that help plants absorb nutrients efficiently. Why crop rotation and cover crops are natural fertility boosters. Another key method to maintain and enhance soil fertility is practicing crop rotation and cover cropping. Rotating different crops on the same plot prevents nutrient depletion, interrupts pest cycles, and naturally balances the soil. Leguminous crops like beans, peas, or ground nuts are particularly valuable because they fix nitrogen in the soil, replenishing one of the most critical nutrients for plant growth. Cover crops, planted between main crops, protect the soil from erosion, suppress weeds, and add organic matter when they decompose. For example, after harvesting maize, planting a cover crop like clover or vetch can revitalize the soil while you wait for the next planting season. Now, how mulching preserves nutrients and strengthens your soil is, well, something many folks tend to overlook. You see, mulching is a practice often underestimated, yet it plays a vital role in natural soil fertility. By covering the soil with straw, leaves or crop residues, you prevent water evaporation, moderate soil temperature and reduce nutrient loss. Over time, mulch slowly breaks down, feeding the soil with organic matter and supporting those tiny microorganisms that help plants absorb nutrients. For instance, in a vegetable garden, applying a 5 to 10 centimetre layer of straw around young seedlings not only keeps the roots cool, but also improves soil fertility over time, reducing the need for external fertilizers. So, using worms and vermiculture is a fantastic way to supercharge your soil naturally. Vermiculture or worm farming is honestly a bit of a hidden gem when it comes to boosting soil fertility. Worms will munch through organic waste and in turn produce nutrient-rich castings. These are, without a doubt, some of the most potent natural fertilizers you can get your hands on. Setting up a simple worm bin with your kitchen scraps or farm residues, well, that can give you castings that dramatically improve your soil's structure, moisture retention and nutrient content. Just a small handful of worm castings added to your garden beds or crop rows can lead to noticeably stronger, healthier plants. It just goes to show, sometimes the smallest organisms can make the biggest difference on your farm. Now, let's talk about some practical steps to integrate these methods on your farm. Implementing natural soil fertility strategies doesn't have to be complicated, not at all. Start by composting whatever organic waste you have on hand, whether it's from your kitchen or out on the farm. Remember to rotate your crops to balance out nutrient use, and be sure to include nitrogen-fixing legumes at least once each season. Applying mulch will help protect your soil and lock in those nutrients. And you might want to consider setting up a worm farm to create high-quality organic fertilizer. Even if you only apply these practices on a small scale, you'll see measurable improvements in your plant growth and crop yields. Over time, your soil will become richer, more resilient and perfectly capable of sustaining high productivity without the need for chemical inputs. You might wonder why natural soil fertility is such a benefit for both farmers and the environment. Well, by boosting your soil fertility naturally, you're not just increasing your crop yields, you're also building a truly sustainable farming system. Healthy soil reduces the need for chemical fertilizers, cuts down on environmental pollution, and encourages biodiversity right there on your land. Beneficial microbes, earthworms, and all sorts of soil organisms thrive, creating a self-sustaining cycle that's good for both the land and the farmer. This approach is especially valuable for smallholder and sustainable farms, where long-term productivity and caring for the environment go hand in hand. So, what's the takeaway from building fertile, living soil? By enriching your soil with organic matter, practicing crop rotation and cover cropping, mulching and bringing vermiculture into the mix, you can naturally boost fertility, increase your yields and build a resilient farming system. Healthy, living soil is the foundation of every successful farm, and with these techniques you're harnessing nature's own processes to feed your crops and nourish your land. If you found this guide helpful, why not subscribe to Farm Logic for more actionable farming tips? And do share it with fellow farmers, gardening enthusiasts, or anyone who's passionate about sustainable agriculture. Remember, healthy soil is the secret to thriving farms. Let's work together to make every plot of land productive and fertile.